Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Summa liyaqtu tafasahum wal yufu nuzurahum wal yattawafu bil baytil atiq. Sadaqallahul Azim. In yesterday's program, I talked about a few conditions of Hajj, mentioning whom Hajj is compulsory upon. Today, inshallah, I will talk about the arkan of Hajj, which mean the pillars of Hajj. There are 4 pillars of Hajj: Ihram, Tawaf, Sa'i and Arafat. The first pillar of Hajj is the state of Ihram. Although the word Ihram is often referred to as 2 pieces that men wear while doing Umrah, it is more than that. Ihram is actually a state one is in while performing the rituals of Hajj and Umrah. The key elements to the Ihram is to make the intention of Ihram after taking a bath and praying 2 rakats prayers. Once the intention is made and the Ihram is put on, there are few rules which you must adhere to. The first rule is to recite the talbiyah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. Here I am, O Allah, here I am. Here I am, there is no partner for you. Here I am. Surely all praise, blessings and dominion are for you. There is no partner for you. It is recommended to keep repeating the talbiyah occasionally on the way to Makkah Mukarramah, especially after prayers or when meeting other pilgrims. The second rule is that the pilgrim should avoid arguing, slandering and harming others with the hands and the tongue. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says at the beginning of Surah Imran verse 197, Al-Hajju ashhurum ma'lumat, faman farada fihin al-hajja, fala rafasa, wala fusuka, wala jidala fil hajj, wama taf'alu min hayrin ya'lam hudla. The Hajj is during the well-known months, and for one who intends to perform Hajj in it, neither is there to be mention of cohabitation in the presence of women, nor any sin, nor a fight with anyone till the completion of Hajj, and whatever good you do, Allah knows it. It is also restricted, the person in Ihram, he is also restricted from showing love and affection to his or her spouse while in Ihram, and the unmarried pilgrim is restricted from getting married or asking someone's hand in marriage while in Ihram. It is undesirable to joke around in the state of Ihram, since the pilgrim should be reciting the talbiyah and submitting themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another rule which must be followed is not to shave or cut hair from any part of the body. Clipping the nails of the fingers or the toes, wearing or even touching perfume are all forbidden acts while in Ihram. Another rule while a person is in Ihram is that men are not allowed to cover their heads by anything except for an umbrella, provided that it does not touch the head, and both men and women are permitted to wear glasses on their face. And finally, it is not permissible to hunt, kill or harm animals unless they become a threat to one's life, such as snakes, scorpions, rats, desert crows and any dangerous wild animals or birds. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says at the beginning of Surah Maida, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu awfu bil uqud uhillat lakum bahimatul an'ami illa ma yutla alaykum ghayra muhilli saydi wa antum hurum inna Allaha yahkumu ma yurid. O people who believe, fulfill your words. The mute animals are made lawful for you to eat, except what will be declared for you after this. But do not assume hunting as lawful when you are on the pilgrimage. Indeed, Allah commands whatever He wills. The fidya, the compensation for killing an animal, is mentioned in the Holy Quran in Surah Maida verse 95, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O people who believe, do not kill prey while you are on the pilgrimage, and whoever amongst you kills it intentionally, so it recompense it that it shall give a similar domestic animal for sacrifice. 2 honest men among you rendering the command, the sacrifice being brought to the Kaaba, or he gives as redemption food for some needy persons, or fast for the same number of days, so that he may taste the consequences of his deed. Allah has forgiven what has passed, and henceforth whatever he does it, Allah will take recompense from him, and Allah is Almighty. The second arkan of Hajj is Tawaf. Tawaf is the action of circling in an anti-clockwise direction. The ayat al-Karima that I read at the beginning is of Surah Hajj, verse 29, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ثُمَّ لْيَقْضُوا تَفَثَهُمْ وَلْيُوفُوا نُذُورَهُمْ وَلْيَطَّوَّفُوا بِالْبَيْتِ الْعَتِيقِ. They must then remove their dirt and fulfill their pledges and go around the free house. In order to have the tawaf properly completed, you must first make intention for tawaf as an act of obedience dedicated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. You should be in the state of wuzu, and tawaf should be inside Masjid al-Haram. The number of rounds should be exactly 7, beginning from the black stone and ending at it. These rounds should be continued without any interruption. One of the sunnah of tawaf is ramal, performing the first 3 rounds by walking for men who are capable of doing so, and if the circumstances permit it. Do not try this if there are way too many people around. Another sunnah is to uncover the right shoulder for men, kissing the black stone at the beginning of tawaf if it is possible. Otherwise, if it's impossible to touch Hajr Aswad, or because the pilgrim fears harming others by pushing them, it is better to raise the hands to make istilam, salutation to the black stone, by starting tawaf by saying, in the name of Allah, Allah is the greatest. O Allah, I have faith in you. I believe in your book. I am fulfilling the promise made to you and following the sunnah of your Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. While doing the tawaf of the Kaaba, you should be in a state of concentration and humbleness. You should avoid harming others, and you should also refrain from talking to others unless it is necessary. Finally, at the end, you should go back to the black stone and salute it before leaving to Safa and Marwa for Sa'i, which leads us onto the third pillar of Hajj, which is Sa'i. This is the walking between Mount Safa and Marwa. Hazrat Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu described how Nabi Pak alayhi salatu wasalam performed the Hajj and narrated, then the Messenger of Allah got out from the door heading for As-Safa, then recited the ayat of the Holy Quran, Inna Safa wal Marwata min sha'airillah, faman hajjal bayta aw i'tamara, fala junaha alayhi an yattawwafa bihima, wa man tatawwa'a khairan, fa inna Allaha shakirun alim. Undoubtedly, Safa and Marwa are amongst the symbols of Allah, so there is no sin on him. For whoever performs the Hajj of this house or the Umrah, to go back and forth between them, and whoever does good on his own accord, then know that indeed Allah is most appreciative and all-knowing. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, we begin with what Allah began. Then he mounted As-Safa until he faced the house, and there he glorified Allah by saying, Allahu Akbar 3 times. Then La ilaha illallahu wahdahu la sharika la, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu, wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallahu wahdahu sadaqa wahdahu wa nasara abdahu wal hazamal ahzaba wahdah. There is no God but Allah. He is one and has no partner. To him the domination and all praise is due to him. We are returning, repenting, worshipping, prostrating to and to Allah we are very grateful. Allah is true to his promise. He gave victory to his servant and defeated the confederates all by himself. Some rules for Sa'i are that it should be done after Tawaf, not before, and you should make proper intention for beginning the Sa'i, and you should continue doing the Sa'i without interruption, and except it is extremely necessary to do so. The fourth and final pillar of Hajj is Arafat. This is known as the big day of Hajj and is on the 9th of Zul Hajjah. It is reported in Tirmidhi Sharif that Nabi Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam said, the Hajj is Arafat. On the 9th of Zul Hajjah, the pilgrim must be at Arafat after Zohr time. Anyone who misses Arafat day, his or her Hajj is void. All the scholars said in consensus that this pillar is the most important one. Hazur Nabi Akram, Noor-e Mujassam, Qasim-e Jannat wa Kausar, Janab Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Hajj is only valid by attending Arafat. Therefore, the presence in Arafat on the 9th of Zul Hajjah between Zohr and Maghrib is essential. One of the sunnats while at Arafat is to make a lot of zikr and dua. Nabi Pak alayhi salatu wasalam said, the best dua is the dua in the day of Arafah, and the best thing I and the prophets before me have ever said is La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Fast on the day of Arafat while being in Hajj, but this is against the Sunnah. In fact, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade people from fasting for the day of Arafat, for the pilgrim should be well prepared and physically fit in order to make a lot of dua and zikr. Observing fast on this day is very well recommended for those who are not on Hajj. For Hazur Sayyid Alam, Janab Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, fasting the day of Arafah removes the sins of the past year and the subsequent one, and fasting the day of Ashura removes the sins of the past year. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give everyone the ability to follow the arkan of Hajj properly, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept everyone's Hajj.
Ameen, Allahumma ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take you and I to Hajj again, inshallah.
Ameen, inshallah.
Ameen.